Spurs will face Portsmouth at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the FA Cup third round in January. A number of Spurs players reported back for training at Hotspur Way on Monday morning. Will Jed Spence go out on loan in the January transfer window? And a full international roundup. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Let's start by talking about the FA Cup third round draw. We have been drawn at home to Portsmouth in the third round of the Emirates FA Cup. The draw took place on Monday evening. The third round ties will take place over the weekend of Saturday, the 7th of January 2023. We haven't faced Portsmouth in a competitive first team game since the FA Cup semi-finals of the 2009-2010 season, where we suffered a 2-0 defeat after extra time at Wembley. On Monday, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club confirmed that a number of players are now back training at Hotspur Way. On the club's website, it states several of our players returned to Hotspur Way today following their mid-season break. As 12 of our players continue in their campaigns at this winter's World Cup, and a number begin their breaks following their respective duties for their countries in international friendlies over the period, a group of players restarted training at Enfield base, including Alfie Whiteman. The squad began the session by going through similar tests and drills that would be seen during the first days of pre-season before they headed out to the pitches. The Premier League clash away at Manchester City has now been rescheduled. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club put out the following on Monday. The latest round of Premier League fixture amendments has today been confirmed, with a new date set for our away game against Manchester City. Originally scheduled for Saturday the 10th of September 2022, but postponed following the sad passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the game will now be played on Thursday the 19th of January 2023 with kick-off 8 p.m. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has been talking about Jed Spence and the possibility of him leaving Spurs in the January transfer window out on loan. He said there's already speculation about Jed Spence's future after a difficult start at Tottenham. My understanding is that Jed Spence is not playing because Antonio Conte wanted experienced players, and Jed Spence is considered a talent for the future. Tottenham are always front runners in the summer, and they are convinced he's going to be a great investment for the future of the club. In terms of a January loan, no decision has been made as yet. We will see what happens when Antonio Conte meets the board and decides the next steps. On Monday, a number of Tottenham Hotspur players were on international duty at the World Cup in Qatar. Richarlison played the first 73 minutes for Brazil as his country beat Switzerland 1-0. Heung-min Son played the full 90 minutes as South Korea lost 3-2 against Ghana. Rodrigo Bentancur played the full 90 minutes as Uruguay lost 2-0 against Portugal. On Tuesday, Pape Matar Sarr will be on international duty in Qatar with Senegal, and Joe Rodon and Ben Davies will be on international duty with Wales as they take on England, where, of course, Eric Dyer and Harry Kane will be on international duty for the Three Lions. Now, my thoughts on these stories in this episode. Let's start by talking about the FA Cup third round draw, which took place on Monday. We have been drawn at home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against League One side Portsmouth. They are currently 7th in League One. Of course, they've got Dane Scarlett on loan at the moment. He won't be allowed to play in this game for obvious reasons. No question or doubt about that. But I think it's a good draw. It's a home draw. It is against a League One team. We shouldn't have any difficulties or problems getting through to the fourth round, in my opinion. Now, let me remind you all that the last time we won the FA Cup was 1991. Gary Mabbott, of course, lifted the trophy for a record 8th time in 1991 for Tottenham Hotspur. We had won the FA Cup more than any other team, which, of course, a fair few teams have passed that record now. It's been too long. Far, far too long. It is unbelievable. 1991, the last time we won the FA Cup. And, when you think about it realistically, this is probably our most realistic chance of a trophy. The Carabao Cup, I said the same about that. We're out of that. Nottingham Forest knocked us out a couple of weeks ago. But we've got to take this competition seriously, in my opinion. Antonio Conte, if he won a trophy at Spurs, he would go down as a real legend. He really, really would. Because, of course, 91 was the last time we won the FA Cup. 2008 was the last time we actually won a domestic trophy at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. It is about time that we took these competitions seriously and put trophies in the cabinet, because there is nothing I would like more to see. The bus parading down the high road with the likes of Hugo Lloris, Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, and co, lifting that trophy up, and all of us fans celebrating. So hopefully, this third round against Portsmouth, hopefully this will be the start of the journey of Antonio Conte putting a trophy in the cabinet at Tottenham. Now, the Jed Spence situation, what an interesting situation this is, because, of course, Antonio Conte has come out publicly a couple of times and said, well, it's a club signing. He hasn't really given Jed Spence any game time. He's had 3 Premier League appearances. All of them have been from the sub-bench. Very, very minimal minutes, I might add as well. He had a little cameo in the Nottingham Forest 2-0 defeat in the Carabao Cup a couple of weeks ago. Done fairly well, in my opinion. Will he go out on loan? I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Jed Spence go out on loan. However, also reported today, a number of Tottenham Hotspur players are back at Hotspur Way training. Jed Spence being one of them. I tell you what, Jed Spence now has a real opportunity from now until Boxing Day to really impress Antonio Conte every single day at Hotspur Way by impressing him on the training pitch, showing him exactly what he can do. Emerson Royale will, of course, be at Hotspur Way training whilst, 12 Tottenham Hotspur players are in Qatar at the World Cup. It's all about impressing the manager now. It really, really is. And, you've got to remember that when we signed Jed Spence, it was actually when we were in South Korea. So he didn't go on that pre-season tour to South Korea. So all of the players that done the 42 lengths of the pitch, Jed Spence wasn't one of those players. So I've absolutely no doubt that Antonio Conte will treat this session now up until Boxing Day, whilst all those other players are on international duty at the World Cup. He will treat it like a pre-season. So Jed Spence, I think, will really benefit, or should benefit, from this time spent with Antonio Conte. Having said that, I think that the first couple of games back after the World Cup, i.e. The Boxing Day game away at Brentford, and then, of course, we've got games early and mid-January. If Jed Spence does not feature in any of those matches, the first 2, 3, 4 matches at the end of December and early January, then I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him go out on loan, because he needs game time. And you've got to remember that last season, when he was at loan at Nottingham Forest from Middlesbrough, he was playing literally every single minute. He was their star man in some respects as well, in their promotion to the Premier League from the Championship. So Jed Spence needs game time, whether it would be in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt or another club. Let's wait and see. But of course, it will be Antonio Conte's choice and the board's choice, early, mid, or even late January. But if he does get a loan out of Tottenham in the January window, in my opinion, it's got to be to a Premier League club. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you are listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. And I will see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.